So, very good morning. So, today the topic to be discussed is the anatomy of pharynx. So, anatomy of pharynx. So, coming to the introduction, pharynx is a conical fibromuscular tube forming the upper part of air and the foot passages. It is the upper part of air and foot passages, which is conical and a fibromuscular tube. It extends from the base of the skull until the body of sixth cervical vertebra. It is the commonest location of the pharynx. It is a fibromuscular tube forming the upper part of air and the foot passages, which extends from the base of the skull to the level of body of the sixth cervical vertebra. And coming to the dimension, the length is about 12 centimeters and the width, it differs from the upper to the lower end. So upper part is 3.5 centimeter and the middle part is narrow and the lower will be the 1.5 centimeter. So thus gives us a conical shape. So inverted conical shape. So upper part will be the 3.5, a lower part is narrow and the downwards is the 1.5 centimeter. So coming to the arterial supply of pharynx, blood supply of pharynx, the ascending pharyngeal artery, external carotid artery as well as the medial group, the ascending palatine artery from the facial artery of external carotid artery, tonsillar artery, maxillary artery as well as the lingual artery. And coming is that the ascending pharyngeal artery we can appreciate in the picture as well as the external carotid artery, medial from the medial group as well as the ascending palatine artery from the facial artery of external carotid artery, and we can see the tonsillar artery, maxillary artery as well as the lingual artery. So these are the blood supply of pharynx. So coming to the lymphatic drainage, the lymphatic drainage of pharynx, where the upper jugular, nasopharynx and the tonsil, the posterior triangle or the nasopharynx, posterior scalp as well as the temporal bone, and the lower jugular, that is the thyroid, piriform fossa as well as the larynx as well as the upper esophagus, the submandibular or the anterior two-thirds of the tongue, floor of mouth as well as the buccal mucosa, the hard palate, the gum and alveolus as well as the lips. Submental is the tip of tongue as well as the central lip. And the middle jugular or oropharynx, hypopharynx as well as the oral cavity as well as the larynx. So Killian's dehiscence, in Killian's dehiscence, the thyropharyngeus as well as the cricopharyngeus exist a potential gap which will be the gateway of tears, The performation can occur during the esophagoscopy. The performation can occur during the esophagoscopy and herniation of the pharyngeal mucosa. So this is the Killian's dehiscence. It's a thyropharyngeus and cricopharyngeus exists a potential gap. It is a gateway for the tears to drain out. The performation can occur during the esophagoscopy, herniation of the pharyngeal mucosa. So the division of pharynx, we all know that. It's all of three: nasopharynx, that is the epipharynx. Next is the oropharynx as well as the hypopharynx as well as called as the laryngopharynx. It's the commonest division of the pharynx, nasopharynx, oropharynx as well as the hypopharynx or called as the laryngopharynx. Nasopharynx will be also called as the epipharynx. Clear? So next we will be seeing the division of pharynx is from the base of skull, that is the basio-occiput and the basisphenoid, as well as soft palate. And next is the plane of hard palate to the hyoid bone, and the lower thing is the hyoid bone to the cricoid cartilage. So this will be the division. So you can see it starts from the base of the skull towards the soft palate, and next will be the hard palate, plane of hard palate, that is the hyoid bone. The hyoid bone is the lower part of the cricoid cartilage. Nasopharynx, it is of cuboidal space, uppermost part of the pharynx, which extends from the base of the skull to level of an imaginary line drawn at the level of hard palate. It is a cuboidal space, the uppermost part of the pharynx, and extends from the base of the skull to the level of an imaginary line drawn at the level of the hard palate. Nasopharynx, it is a cuboidal space which will be the uppermost part of the pharynx, which extends from the base of the skull to the hard palate. So, anatomy of nasopharynx, it opens to the anteriorly into the nasal cavity. In this diagram, we can see the nasopharynx, which lies anteriorly. So roof is formed by the basic sphenoid and the base-occiput. The posterior wall is arch of atlas vertebra. The floor is formed by the soft palate, and the anterior wall is conae, that is the posterior nasal apertures. The lateral wall, it contains of two structures, that is the eustachian tube opening as well as fossa of Rosenmüller. So the roof is by the basis sphenoid and the base-occiput, and the posterior wall, the arch of atlas vertebrae. The floor is formed by the soft palate. The anterior wall is the conae, that is the posterior nasal apertures. The lateral wall, it contains of two structures, that one is the eustachian tube and other thing is the fossa of Rosenmüller. So eustachian tube opening is situated in the lateral wall on the east side of the nasopharynx, that is 1.25 centimeter posterior to at the level of inferior turbinate. The orifice bounded to the posterior-superiorly by the torus turbaris, and fossa of Rosenmüller, it is posterior to torus turbaris, the body where the malignancy developed and difficult to diagnose as earliest. So it's situated at the lateral wall on the east side of the nasopharynx, that is 1.25 centimeter, and the fossa of Rosenmüller posterior to torus turbaris. This is the body where the malignancy develops and it is difficult to diagnose as earliest. Next will be the, you can see the eustachian tube opening. What we are seeing is direct nasal endoscopy. Through 0-degree endoscope, we are seeing passing over the nasal cavity. And through the passes, we enter to the nasopharynx. We can appreciate the adenoids, nasopharynx, adenoids, as well as the eustachian tube orifice is well noted in this picture. So adenoids, the adenoids is a submucosal aggregation of lymphoid tissue at the junction of the roof and the posterior wall of the nasopharynx. Increases in size up to the age of 6 years. It develops until the age of 6 years. Okay. So adenoid is a submucosal aggregation of lymphoid tissue, collection of lymphoid tissue. That's it. At the junction of the roof and the posterior wall of the nasopharynx. It increases in size until the age of 6 years. So in this, we can see the normal adenoids, and next will be the infected adenoids. which increase in size in case of infection, or the swollen adenoids, adenoid hypertrophy. So adenoid hypertrophy, it obstructs the nasal cavity posteriorly. Hence, there will be the open mouth breathing in such cases. So there is to be importantly noted at certain age group below 8 years. So for clinically examining that, we use posterior nasal mirror to examine the nasopharynx clinically, and also using the endoscopes. So normally we on clinical examination you use posterior nasal mirror. So next will be the nasopharyngeal bursa. What does it mean and what is that? It is a small median recess in the mucous membrane that across the adenoids, and it corresponds to the pouch of Luschka, which is an endodermal pit drawn out by the cranial end of the notochord. So next comes the Rathke's pouch. Rathke's pouch, it is an embryological structure which disintegrate with the development. It is an ectodermal diverticulum from which the anterior part of pituitary gland develops. Represented clinical as a dimple over the adenoids. It is a tumor called the craniopharyngioma may develop in it. So we can see the adenoids, Rathke's pouch. We can say appreciate the nasopharyngeal bursa as well as adenoids. So next is the tubal tonsil. It is a collection of subepithelial lymphoid tissue in relation to the torus turbaris and can be the continuous with the adenoids. And sinus of Morgani, it is a potential space between the skull base and the upper border of constrictor muscle of the pharynx. It transmits the eustachian tube, the levator and tensor palatini muscle along with the ascending pharyngeal artery. Sinus Morgani, it is a potential space between the skull base and the upper border of the superior constrictor muscle of the pharynx. It transmits the eustachian tube, the levator and tensor palatini muscle along with the ascending pharyngeal artery. Next, we will be seeing about the Passavant's ridge. Passavant's ridge, it's a mucosal elevation produced by the palatopharyngeus muscle at the level of nasopharyngeal isthmus. It becomes prominent during the act of swallowing when the soft palate makes contact with it. That is the Passavant's ridge. Next, we will be seeing about the oropharynx. So hypopharynx, which anatomically present from the base of the skull to the hard palate. So here it is a space communication with the oral cavity anteriorly, nasopharynx superiorly, and the hypopharynx inferiorly. It is the space between the hard palate and the extent to the hyoid bone. So this part we called as the oropharynx. Oropharynx, which is oral cavity anteriorly, lies the oral cavity. The nasopharynx superiorly and the hypopharynx is the inferiorly. This is the location of the oropharynx. So oropharynx, next to the oropharynx, this is the picture which shows the oropharynx. You can see the anteriorly and posteriorly there will be a pharyngeal wall, posterior pharyngeal wall, soft palate and uvula as well as the tonsil, base of the tongue. These are the contents of the oropharynx. The boundaries are superiorly the soft palate, inferiorly the base of the tongue, laterally the palatine tonsil and the anterior pillars, and posteriorly related to the body axis and the upper part of C3 vertebrae, that is the prevertebral fascia as well as the muscle. So that is the oropharyngeal isthmus. So next will be the hypopharynx. So hypopharynx that extends from the level of hyoid bone to the C6 vertebrae. It related to the lowest part of the C3, C4, C5 vertebrae. It communicates with the oropharynx superiorly and continues to cervical esophagus at the level of cricoid cartilages. Divided into three parts: piriform fossa, postcricoid region, as well as posterior pharyngeal wall. It extends from the level of hyoid bone to the C6 vertebrae. It related to the lowest part of C3, C4, as well as C5 vertebrae. It communicates with the oropharynx superiorly and continues as the cervical esophagus at the level of cricoid cartilage. Divided in three parts, that is the piriform fossa, postcricoid region, as well as posterior pharyngeal wall. So these all the contents of hypopharynx, that are the posterior pharyngeal wall, cricoid area, lateral wall of piriform sinus, as well as the medial wall of the piriform sinus. So posterior cricoid region is the part of anterior wall of laryngopharynx between the upper and lower border of cricoid lamina. It is a common site for carcinoma in females suffering from the Plummer-Vinson syndrome. So piriform fossa forms the pharyngoepiglottic fold to upper end of esophagus, laterally the thyrohyoid membrane and cartilage, and medially the array-epiglottic fold, and posterolateral surface of arytenoid and the cricoid cartilage. The internal laryngeal nerve runs submucosally on the lateral wall of the sinus, hence it can be helped in the local anesthesia. And next will be the posterior pharyngeal wall. It extends from the level of hyoid bone to the level of cricoarytenoid joint. Hyoid bone through the cricoarytenoid joint, that is called the posterior pharyngeal wall. The wall which we can appreciate during the clinical examination, the mouth opening, the beyond the oropharynx, that part is called the posterior pharyngeal wall. The structures of pharyngeal wall is the mucous membrane, pharyngeal aponeurosis, a muscular coat, as well as the buccopharyngeal fascia. That is the mucous membrane. The contents of the pharyngeal wall or the mucous membrane, pharyngeal aponeurosis, muscular coat, as well as the buccopharyngeal fascia. So I can show you a diagram where the outer part, the brown lining, which shows the mucous membrane. And next will be the green line, which shows the pharyngeal aponeurosis. In middle is the muscular coat, and last is the buccopharyngeal fascia. So here we have discussed about the anatomy of pharynx. So basically it's divided into three: nasopharynx, hypopharynx, nasopharynx, oropharynx, as well as hypopharynx. So nasopharynx is from the base of the skull to the hot palate, and the oropharynx is from the hot palate to the hyoid bone. And next, hypopharynx or laryngopharynx, it extends from the hyoid bone through the C6 vertebra. So it's a common anatomy. After that, we have seen the contents as well as the blood supply of pharynx. So that is the ascending pharyngeal artery, ascending palatine artery. So its branches, everything we have been discussed. Also, we have seen about the lymphatic drainage and its extension. All those things we have discussed in this anatomy of pharynx. Here it's end of topic. Thank you.